Hey everybody, this is Michael DeLangjack here today, and this is the third episode of the Esquina radio show. Today we're going to talk about 5 different articles that I found throughout the week that I found to be very interesting, and I think you guys will find them very interesting too. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about them. So the first article we're going to talk about today is a case about a Cree woman who spoke her language in a school and was told that she could not speak it. So there was a complaint received by the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations in Canada about a school in Saskatchewan, Canada, where the woman was told to only speak English and not in her native language, Cree. The complaint was filed last week, and the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations is now looking into the case, and they're going to make a judgment about it. However, in the meantime, they told schools to please continue to speak your languages, that schools should be promoting the use of Indigenous languages across Canada, and that these languages should not be discouraged from being spoken. So, more information about that as time goes on. We will track this news. The second one is, did you know that limited language proficiency, at least in the United States, can result in multiple hospitalizations? That's right. In the United States, when you have heart disease, you are 32% more likely to revisit a hospital if you are not able to give them a sufficient translation of what you are feeling. If you have limited English proficiency in the United States or in any language of any country, then you are that much more likely to go back to the hospital, and even 25 to 40% likely to be readmitted. If you have COPD and even some other disorders, it's even higher. It has an even higher rate of being returned back to the hospital. Why is this even a problem if people can have medical interpreters, or if they can take their friends? If they go by themselves, or if they have a bad translator, how are they going to be able to tell the doctor what they're actually feeling? So they've advised people to please take family and friends who know medical terminology, or a good medical interpreter with you, so that things like this don't happen on a multiple basis. So the third one is that hip-hop is saving a language. There is a language in Colombia spoken in the town of Palenque, and it's a language known as Palenquero. This is a Creole spoken by maybe a few thousand people at the most. The language is dying out, and it's not very used amongst the youngest population as they switch over to Spanish because of globalization and other effects of that. However, hip-hop is reviving their language. There are a lot of young people now taking the reins and learning the language, and they are learning very quickly, and they are starting to rediscover their culture, because in ancient times, or rather in colonial times, the town of Palenque was seen as a place of rebellion, a place where they rebelled against the status quo. They did not like the colonialization. They did not like the Spanish, and Palenquero is kind of seen as a language of rebellion. However, it is a Creole language made out of mostly Spanish elements, and the language also has different African languages in it. So that's very cool. So that was very cool news to hear. So the fourth one is 76% of students in a survey taken by Preply, an online language learning model, they have said that 76% of language learners prefer to learn through conversation. So most of these people learn through their tutors, and they like to learn in a constant format by their tutors, and they do not like the rigid structure of textbooks and grammar drills and vocabulary drills. So this comes at a surprise, because most conversation-based courses are in books. However, they want just tutors, like in an iTalki format or in a Skype lesson. The last one is Palawa Kani is now in its 3rd generation of speakers learning this local language. There are linguists there, non-indigenous linguists there, that are now working on this language, have been since the 90s. They've been rebuilding the language through old word lists and stuff like that, and they are now in the 3rd generation of speaking. That is awesome, that 3 generations of Tasmanian indigenous people have been learning this language. So that's really cool stuff, and it's coming back better than ever. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you liked it, please subscribe. Please leave a comment about what your favorite article was and what you think about them. Like the video, spread the video, do what you need to do to get that video out to as many people as you can. And thank you guys for watching La Esquina.